Live and Local is proudly sponsored by Dr. Fitzgerald and Associates. Protect your precious peepers. Community First Credit Union. Eels and Tronvold Law Offices. Worth It by UFG Insurance. And Walton Collision Center in Fairfax. This is a presentation of KCRG TV9 Live Events. It's that time of year when high school graduates make the transition to the next step in their lives. Join KCRG TV9 in wishing them well and honoring them for their accomplishment. Only on KCRG 9.2.
The Cedar Rapids Community School District is proud to congratulate the class of 2018 and to recognize the academic achievements of all of our graduates. Each commencement ceremony celebrates the educational journey of growth and discovery and opens the door to new and exciting adventures in lifelong learning. To the graduates of Jefferson, Kennedy, Metro, and Washington High Schools, we say, congratulations! Woo!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2018 Jefferson High School Commencement Ceremony. Thank you for sharing in this event with our faculty and the graduating seniors. At this time, we are ready for the graduates to enter the arena. Please rise and remain standing for the processional and the instrumental version of the Star-Spangled Banner.
please be seated. Good evening. I am Carolyn Driscoll. I would like to welcome you to the 2018 graduation ceremony for the senior class of Thomas Jefferson High School, and thank you for joining us. Before we begin, please allow me to introduce our class board members: Kareem Abumeiser, Felicia Kane, Hannah Coyle, Robert Larson, and Mary McCoy. Thank you for the time and effort you put into serving our class. Next, I would like to introduce our first speaker of the evening, class board member Hannah Coyle, who will give her speech, 4 Short Years.
Parents, teachers, and fellow classmates of Jefferson High School, my name is Hannah Coyle, and I stand as a graduating member of the class of 2018. I went to high school with all of these wonderful people seated before me. Yes, that's past tense. No longer will we ever sit together in the uncomfortable bleachers, talk over the announcements that we should have been listening to, or text each other for the homework. Just 4 years ago, we began our journey at the large brick building we've all come to know as Thomas Jefferson High School. We all started at the same point, bright-eyed, innocent, and nervously excited for what the next 4 years would bring to us. I'm sure you've all heard the phrase, "It'll be over before you know it," a painful amount of times throughout your high school career. I know I have. However, during these last 4 years, it truly seemed like this chapter in our lives would never end. That phrase seemed to be the biggest lie and lamest cliche we'd ever heard. But now, as we stand together today in these super stylish caps and gowns, I think we can all admit that we understand what everybody before us was talking about. Whether you want to admit it or not, these past 4 years came and went quicker than anyone could have ever imagined. We are living the cliche we once tried to ignore. We've been talking about and looking forward to graduation day since we first stepped foot into the crowded hallways. We walked in as freshmen with hundreds of pencils, color-coded folders, and shy smiles. As we became more comfortable with each other and our school, we started reaching out and interacting outside of our middle school friend group. You know, the people you said you'd be friends with forever. Well, maybe you were, maybe you're still friends with them, but maybe you're not, and either way, it's okay. You made it, we all did, and you either moved on or held on to the people that make you happy. Now, sophomore year is not quite as blurry as freshman year. We managed to hang on to half of the pencils that we had the year before and attempted to keep up in our daily agendas. It still seems like centuries have passed since we were reading Bentley's History of the World, dressing up for our second school dance, and listening to juniors talk about how awful the next year was going to be. Our reputation started to form as we found ourselves amidst the wonderful chaos of high school. Junior year consisted of pushing our way towards the front of the student section, taking field trips to graveyards, and shouting the wrong thing in spirit cheers. With only a couple pencils at the bottom of our backpacks, we quickly decided that organization was out the door from here on out. I think it was this time last year that I finally realized that this familiar place wouldn't always be mine. Friends rotated and grades fluctuated. Now, we've made it to senior year. With only a couple pages of loose leaf paper, some empty gum wrappers, and maybe one red pen at the bottom of our dirty backpacks, we resorted to picking up lost pencils from the ground that younger, still hopeful underclassmen had unknowingly dropped. It's been a year full of college decisions, prom, and the ever-present senioritis, which works harder than any student ever could. Senior year is a funny thing. It's the year that grades, GPAs, and involvement are more crucial than ever before, and yet there's no motivation to complete any of the necessary evils. But somehow, we all found our way to these seats that you're all sitting in right now. Soon enough, we'll hand over our title as upperclassmen. We'll once again transition into the next chapter of our lives. Just as our transition from middle school to high school brought changes, so will the upcoming adventure. It's hard to admit, but our lives are going to change the second we grasp onto these diplomas. Maybe we'll grow together, and maybe we'll grow apart. Anyways, we will still have new people in our lives, whether they replace some of the people that currently occupy a spot in our friend group or they make their own seat. Some of us will move on completely, while others of us will maintain contact with our current friends. Again, it's all completely okay. There's no right way to move on from high school. Just always remember that no matter your status years down the road, the people to your right and left will always stand up for you. Let these past 4 years serve as a meaningful time in your life. Now, if you'll indulge me in my own cliche for the moment, I'll promise to make it as painless as possible. High school is like a path. We all start together at the exact same point, but throughout the years, we all eventually veer off at some point. Whether it be personal decisions, family struggles, unexpected challenges, or regret that push us and sway us, we all find our way back with the help of teachers, parents, and friends. Despite whatever detours we took, we all ended up here in the same room, sitting with the same people who you began this life-changing journey with. Just as we all started together, we're all ending together. No matter the challenges any of us have surpassed or the hardships that we've faced, we are all going to walk across this stage, thus ending our journey together and moving straight into our new adventure. This ceremony is the last time we'll all be together from here on out. It's a sad reality. I'm going to take a break from memory lane to thank and recognize everybody here in this room. Each and every one of you sitting here today played a vital role in our success as a class. You stood up for us when no one else would, and we all thank you for what you've done. Teachers, I'll start with you. You've taught us, you've pushed us, and at times you've humored us, but most importantly, you laid a foundation for us. You did everything in your power to keep us on our path to a bright future. You encouraged us when we felt like giving up and believed in us even when we didn't believe in ourselves. None of this would ever be possible without all of you. Despite all the homework, tests, and what you claimed wasn't busy work, we thank you for what you've done. Parents, you're next. Although we hate to admit it, you're the deciding factor in all of this. All of your nagging finally paid off. This diploma is just as much for you as it is for us. The constant support and countless hours that you put into us has brought us here today, and we will be out of your way soon enough. Now, students, it's your turn. Let's bring it back to you. The subjects of today's ceremony. We worked, volunteered, played sports, participated in music and theater, and somehow found a way to keep up on homework and assignments most of the time. We've set records, competed in state competitions, and made a lasting difference in our community. We've made a name for ourselves. Without dimming the pride of those accomplishments, I hope that we all realize that these awards and acknowledgments are not the only things that we as a class have accomplished. I'd like to take this moment to recognize all of those that have gone unrecognized throughout our years together. To those of you who are not honored at academic assemblies, do not have pictures on the wall, and are not wearing medals around your neck, we see you and we applaud you. Some have survived the unthinkable, and others have dealt with silent struggles. But no matter your story, you deserve to be noticed and appreciated. Maybe you have interests that the school doesn't highlight, or maybe your biggest accomplishment is making it to class on time. Either way, we all stand together. The West Side is not only the best side, it's a family, and families stand up for each other. We are all a part of the family, and Jefferson wouldn't be the same without everybody here before me. Now, over the years, I've come to the conclusion that I'm not too great at this whole public speaking thing. Yeah, funny, right? Why would I seek the opportunity to stand up here in front of all of you if I haven't thus far given a speech without stuttering, shaking, or jumbling my words? Well, I'd like to say that I am taking a step, maybe even a leap outside of my comfort zone to encourage you to do the same. It doesn't have to be as major as speaking in front of thousands of people, but a single uncomfortable experience can take you farther than you can ever imagine. Upon closing, I would like to encourage all of you to take chances, live uncomfortably, and stand up. Stand up for each other, stand up for your future, and most of all, stand up for your life. This is your life to live, so make it great. I would now like to reintroduce Jefferson's Meister Singers and Wind Symphony, who will perform 3 selections for you.
Would the audience please stand for the Jefferson Loyalty Song?
Please be seated. My name is Michelle Moon, and it is my pleasure this evening to introduce several guests who are seated on stage and who will participate in the graduation ceremony. Members of the Cedar Rapids Community School District Board of Directors will present diplomas to the graduates. Please reserve your applause until all are introduced. Board President, Mr. John Laverty, Mr. Gary Anhalt, Mrs. Jennifer Borcherding, Ms. Nancy Humbles, Mr. Raphael Jacobo, Ms. Kristen Jansen, Mrs. Mary Meisterling. I would also like to introduce Dr. Brad Buck, Superintendent of Cedar Rapids Community School District, and Mrs. Noreen Bush, Associate Superintendent. On behalf of Jefferson's class of 2018, I would like to offer our sincere thanks for the efforts of these board members and central office administrators. I would now like to introduce Salutatorian Noah Vaughter.
I would now like to introduce this year's 19 valedictorians. Will they please rise and remain standing until all names are called? They are Sydney Barlow, Hannah Barmore, Sydney Barnhart, Natasha Brisbine, Felicia Kane, Hannah Coyle, Carolyn Driscoll, Jordan Hanna, William Hout, Elizabeth Moon, Michelle Moon, Erica Oler, Nadine Cadora, Taylor Ratora, Caitlin Reed, Austin Schmitz, Sricharan Sheshashai, Haley Vero, and Hallis Wilson. One of these valedictorians will be presenting their reflections tonight about the time that we have spent in high school. I would now like to introduce senior valedictorian Hannah Barmore.
Our society needs change, and we all play a role. Obviously, action is a central component in creating any change. And when I saw the quotation on Mrs. Essie's board that read, "A farmer can't plow a field by turning it over in his mind," it affirmed my thinking, because it is the essence of change. No change will ever happen if we sit idly by, complain, and wait for someone else to do something. Things will only be different if we act. This initiative to act is derived from our purpose and passion. We do not always have to be overt about making change. Quiet warriors who mill about their day, doing what gives them purpose, can and do impact the world. Change does not have to be recognized for it to be worthwhile. The art of being a catalyst for change often means being in the background. These individuals do not necessarily know how their actions will impact the world. Their message being known, understood, and felt is more important than being known themselves. Sometimes individuals do not even realize they are bringing about change. To them, they are just doing what gives them purpose. Pablo Picasso was doing what he loved when painting about social injustices. In a similar fashion, Harriet Beecher Stowe wrote as a way to examine the cruelties of slavery. The 5 students who have become vocal since the Parkland shooting are not trying to gain fame, though admittedly they are. They are simply standing up for their peers and friends lost on February 14th, 2018. They want those lives to have meaning beyond the tragedy. Being a catalyst for change is not about gaining notoriety or having something to put on an application, but rather evolving the world to a higher quality. Now, I recognize the irony in saying all this as we sit here with volunteer and service medals, but my point is that after today, there will be few awards, so we should focus on our passions because change is the byproduct of that work. While the news often only showcases people who are boisterous and loud, there are many, many more working quietly and diligently to create change. Take Katherine Johnson, for example. She was originally part of NASA's West Area Computing Group, doing the manual calculations that computers usually do. Then in 1960, she became part of NASA's Space Task Group, where she verified the calculations for John Glenn's orbit around the Earth and calculated the launch for Apollo 11 that sent men to the moon. Katherine Johnson played a key role in changing the world of space, yet no one had any recollection of her name or story until 2015. She changed the world of space and did it by working diligently. Doing calculations at a job she loved brought purpose to her life. Notoriety was never her focus. When I first began writing this speech, I found myself only thinking about those who were vocal about bringing change. I was stuck because I couldn't figure out how I was qualified to make this speech about standing up for change when I'm not loud or outspoken. Then I realized there are a lot of quiet ways to make change. There are quiet warriors in the world, and even quiet warriors in this very room. Quiet warriors stand for change in subtle ways. Rather than being at the front of crowds, we are behind the scenes. We have passion and fortitude for our causes, and we bring change by focusing on our strengths. Our work is just as important to the world. Ultimately, the world will always need a catalyst for change, no matter the method. Seniors, congratulations. Enjoy this moment. We've accomplished a lot. We have established our roots for the next chapter of our lives, whether that be joining the workforce or continuing our education. After this moment, however, when we put the medals away, we need to remember that if we're going to make meaningful change, we need to be true to who we are and pursue work that brings meaning to our lives. I know we can all find our purpose. I wish you all the best of luck. And now, before moving on in the ceremony, I would like to take a moment for the class of 2018 to honor everyone who has helped us along our way. Graduates, please stand and applaud all of our parents, guardians, teachers, community members, family, and friends. They certainly deserve a standing ovation for all that they have done for us. Graduates, you may now be seated. Again, thank you. I would like to introduce fellow valedictorian Elizabeth Moon.
Now that you have met the valedictorians and heard their reflections, it is our pleasure to introduce the salutatorians. Will they please rise and remain standing until all names are called? Will the audience please hold your applause until all 8 salutatorians are announced? Hannah Burgess, Jacelyn Van Dixon, Paula Carlson, Braden Frazier, Kira Hammonds, Sophia Pionic, Natalie Voss, Noah Votter. Congratulations to these classmates. You may be seated. I would now like to introduce senior Sydney Barlow.
I would like to introduce you to some of the academic achievements of the class of 2018. Seniors, your past 4 years at Jefferson High School have sped by. Graduates, it's time to take a few moments to look back at our past accomplishments. In terms of academics, co-curricular activities, and citizenship, this class and this school is second to none, and these are just a few reasons why. Let's start by looking at the academic accomplishments of the class of 2018. Your program provides explanations of several academic honors, including the selection process for valedictorians and salutatorians, students who were introduced to you earlier this evening. Obviously, the students in those elite groups have taken their academic responsibilities at Jefferson very seriously, and they are deserving of the recognition they have received. In fact, there are 27 members of this class with a 4.0 GPA or above. They are not, however, the only excellent students in this class. We would like to introduce you to many more. At last week's Senior Recognition Night event, academic recognition was provided to many members of this class. Your program describes the qualification standards for students receiving the Presidential Education Award for membership in the Academic Honors Program with Distinction, National Honor Society, the 400 Club, and for earning the Jefferson Academic Letter. Those qualification standards are rigorous, and to earn any one of them is worthy of high praise. In fact, 44 of tonight's graduates received a certificate from President Trump because they qualified for the Presidential Education Award. 72 graduates have been inducted into Jefferson's chapter of the National Honor Society. 105 have received the academic letter, and more may qualify once the spring term grades have been included on the transcripts. 65 students are wearing the medals reserved for academic honors program graduates, and 68 of them met the more challenging standard of the Honors with Distinction program. 80 students are wearing blue honor cords this evening, indicating that they have earned 400 or more credits while at Jefferson. 550 4- and 5-year department awards were given in the content areas of language arts, math, science, social studies, world language, and Project Lead the Way. 8 members of this class, Marie Grace Mubudili, Sierra Hoger, Elizabeth Moon, Michelle Moon, Jared Reynolds, Noah Votter, Taylor Victoria, and Michael Welbs earned excellent attendance for their 4 years during high school. I am pleased to announce that 250 members of this class have achieved the distinction of qualifying for one or more of these academic honors. Would those 250 students please stand for recognition? Congratulations on your academic success at Jefferson. Of course, these are not the only ways to measure academic success. The graduates just mentioned, and others in the class as well, have been the recipients of countless other honors, including academic scholarships that will be used at many colleges and universities this fall. That statement speaks volumes about the academic commitment of the members of the class of 2018. As a class, we are to be commended. I would now like to introduce Nadine Kadora, who will discuss our accomplishments and activities.
As in the academic arena, members of this class have enjoyed their participation in Jefferson's numerous co-curricular activities. Students learn valuable lessons and enjoy lasting memories on these teams and ensembles. Some examples of that success include the following. The 2018 academic decathlon team won the state champion for the 18th consecutive year. The team represented Iowa at the national competition in Frisco, Texas, finishing 9th out of 72 teams overall, earning the second highest score in Jefferson history. Instrumental and vocal music programs at Jefferson excel at the state and national levels. Many groups, including Westside Delegation and Ovation, Maestro Singers, Jefferson String Orchestra, the Band of Blue, Marching Band, Jazz Band, and the Wind Symphony and Symphonic Band travel regionally and nationally, and their success is phenomenal. Both the choir and the instrumental programs own an impressive series of Division I honors in state competitions at the State Marching Band Festival, State Solo and Ensemble Festival, and State Large Group Festival. We have a very active, thriving theater program as well. The Jefferson Theater Department presented 4 productions this year. The season began with the large playtime Puppy Children's Theater production of Aladdin in October. Then in November, the department performed a 1-act play at the Iowa Thespian Festival held at UNI. 3 short plays were presented in January to receptive audiences, finishing the year with the musical Disney Beauty and the Beast 2 weeks ago, to huge crowds and standing ovation. They also received a $10,000 grant for NPC and spent spring break at Disney World. Jefferson's art department has placed several individual and regional and national art competitions. In the most prestigious competitions, scholastic students in the art program have achieved a combined 16 awards the past few years, including the highest regional and national win for any student in the history of Cedar Rapids Public School District. In addition, many of our seniors sitting here today have been active participants in the community with art-related projects. With all of the graduates who have participated in academic decathlon, vocal or instrumental music, theater, art, or speech during their years at Jefferson, and the staff members who directed them, please stand. We want to give you one last ovation in recognition of your excellent work in the fine arts. I would now like to introduce fellow class member Jordan Hanna.
In addition to fine arts and academics, athletic competition provides many valuable lessons and memories. Nearly 1,000 students participate in athletics yearly as part of the 21 interscholastic sports teams. They have competed in state tournaments and playoffs and have enjoyed success in the Mississippi Valley Conference, perhaps the premier large school conference in Iowa. As they graduate tonight, they take with them great memories of the participation in sports at Jefferson. Highlights in the athletic arena include state qualifying teams or individuals in Special Olympics, volleyball, girls tennis, softball, baseball, football, girls and boys swimming, wrestling, and girls and boys track, and girls and boys bowling. Would all the members of the class of 2018 who have participated in athletics at Jefferson, and would the staff members who have coached them please stand? We salute you for your commitment to excellence in the realm of athletics. It would be easy to continue to talk about the journalism program, the math team, the various programs that make up Jefferson's DECA, Service Club, POMS, Cheer Squad, Chess Team, Building Trades, Trap Shooting Club, Math Club, Student Council, and the numerous other clubs that exist at the school. In every case, the message would be similar: students enjoying a successful program being led by a caring, competent adult. Will the students involved in these various programs please stand for our applause? They take with them skills and attributes that they will be able to use in their adult lives. Let me reintroduce our principal, Mr. Charles McDonald.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the class officers, valedictorians, and salutatorians for a job well done tonight. They have been important leaders in the successes of the class of 2018, and their thoughtful and articulate comments have set the tone for an outstanding commencement ceremony. At this time, we would like the class officers, salutatorians, and valedictorians to please return to their seats. Jefferson High School initiated its Honorary Diploma Recognition Program in 1986. The Honorary Diploma is reserved for those special school patrons who make significant contributions to the school and its programs, and it is viewed as the highest honor provided to school supporters. Tonight's honoree brings the total number of honorary diplomas awarded to 82. This year's award will go to the person who has contributed a tremendous amount of time and effort to our Jefferson community. Jefferson High School Honorary Diploma is being presented this evening to Greta McChesney. Now we gloat over you. Okay. Greta McChesney has been a tremendous asset to our Jayhawk community for many years as a business owner and active volunteer. Greta is the president and owner of Team Iowa, supplying Jefferson as well as all of the other high schools in the district with our graduation awards ceremony medals. Often known as the cap and gown lady, she has attended all of the Cedar Rapids Community School District's graduations for the last 23 years. As we plan graduation and all the other recognition ceremonies each year, Greta's attention to detail, responsiveness, organization, and support is invaluable. Thank you, Greta, for helping us honor our students each year. Greta also supports our Jefferson community with her volunteerism. She is an active member of our Jefferson Booster Club, serving first as secretary and currently as vice president and product buyer. These positions require countless hours of service, organizing and coordinating efforts for our Jayhawk athletic endeavors, and Greta's dedication is greatly appreciated. In addition to her work with our Booster Club, Greta has been a strong supporter of other activities in which her children are involved. As a team mom of the boys and girls swim team for the past 8 years, Greta has coordinated breakfast and snacks, organized team and parent events, and hosted team dinners. For the last 10 years, Greta has also been involved with 2 of our feeder programs, Junior Jayhawk Softball and Stony Point Stingray Swim Team. Greta graduated from Kennedy in 1985 and then went to graduate from Kirkwood Community College and UNI with a degree in arts and graphics. Greta and her husband Daryl have 3 children, Jordan, Max, and Micah. Jordan and Max graduated from Jefferson in 2012 and 2016 respectively, and Micah graduates this evening. Greta grew up on the west side of Cedar Rapids and attended Jefferson activities when she was young, but because she lived over the district line, she went to Kennedy. Greta says, however, that she has always felt like a Jayhawk. Greta's years of dedication and service to our Jefferson community certainly demonstrates this. Please show her our collective gratitude and welcome her officially to our Jayhawk family with this honorary diploma. Of course, the successes these students have enjoyed would not be possible without the help of many, many people who have played critical roles in preparing them for tonight's celebration. Let us meet several groups whose influence has impacted our graduates. First are the educators who have worked with these students at Jefferson. I will introduce them in groups. Please hold your applause until all are standing. Associate Principals, Ms. Lori Bateman, Mr. Chris Deem, and Mr. Chad Zabo. Counselors, Mrs. Kim Abram, Mrs. Jamie Cummins, Mr. Jason Edwards, and Ms. Judy McIntosh. PACT Coordinator, Mr. Kevin Darrow, and NHS Advisor, Ms. Teresa Fetkether, both helped in preparing tonight's ceremony. Mr. Ian Lemaster and Ms. Kristen Stouty have served these students as class sponsors. Their work has culminated recently with the completion of a successful prom, after-prom party, and senior slideshow. 16 additional teachers are senior forum advisors, and many of them have worked with the same students for all 4 years of high school. Finally are the remainder of Jefferson's faculty. Please stand to be recognized. Thank you. 3 members of the Jefferson faculty are retiring this year. Would Cindy Espy, Richard Long, and Brian Stump please stand? Thank you for your long-term commitment and loyalty to our school and specifically our students. Graduates, you should feel pride in all that you have accomplished at Jefferson in academics, fine arts, and the athletic arena. As you move forward, we want you to accomplish your goals and experience success. Jefferson has provided you with critical foundational knowledge and skills, and I am confident that you will find a way to leverage your individual strengths to make an impact on society. In April, the school district featured Jefferson in its Our Stories series. For this video, I shared our school's vision and articulated it as be bold, be best, bleed blue. Each one of these descriptors connected to the opportunities available to you and the connection we hope you develop during your experience at Jefferson. This mantra of be bold, be best, bleed blue also encapsulates my hope for each of you moving forward. So graduates, be bold. Pursue what motivates you and be forthright in your willingness to work for your goals and passions. When you devote your attention to what you love, you are much more poised to be creative, imaginative, and innovative. You can offer a different perspective and generate new possibilities. You can influence bold change. So whether you're working as a quiet warrior, as Hannah Barmar described, or using your voice to lead a group, you're standing up for what makes things better, and that is what is important. As you pursue your interests, remember to be patient because meaningful change takes time. You will need to work hard, adjust, and put forth a sustained effort to see the results you envision. Be best. I encourage you to work every day to do better than you were the day before and foster a mindset of continual improvement. You don't know it all, and you will falter in your work and in your life. However, with a growth mindset, you'll be poised to learn, grow, and mature in a manner that sets you up to achieve the goals that are important to you. Bleed blue. This evening's ceremony marks the end of one era and the start of another. It's exciting, and you should be excited about the new opportunities in front of you. And as Hannah Coyle mentioned in her remarks, there's no one way to move forward from high school. Some of you will leave the area while others will stay closer. Regardless of how you move forward, I hope you remember your roots, your Jefferson roots. You will always be Jayhawks. At senior recognition night, our Hall of Fame inductee Mike Herman's continued Jayhawk spirit was palpable, even though he graduated 40 years ago and lives out of state. He brought you all to a standing ovation because he connected to the pride, the Jayhawk pride that binds us all. It's that same Jayhawk pride that has brought so many former Jayhawks back to our building to teach and work. Currently, Jefferson has 18 teachers, 2 associate principals, and several other staff who are graduates, in addition to our superintendent and associate superintendent. Many other teachers and staff who aren't Jefferson graduates have had their own children sit in those chairs like you this evening. Not to mention, many of you may be second and third generation Jayhawks, having had your parents and or grandparents graduate from here. The point is, Jayhawks proudly bleed blue, and we hope that as 2018 graduates, you will carry on this rich tradition. In closing, we are proud of you. Continue to challenge yourself and further what you've already learned. If you do this, you will provide yourself with the best opportunity to succeed. Good luck. I would now like to reintroduce Superintendent Dr. Brad Buck.
Good evening to the families, community members, and staff that have guided these students along their academic journey. I hold a deep respect for your mentorship, love, support, and instruction that led these young women and men to this pivotal moment in their lives. Graduates, as an alumnus of Cedar Rapids Community School District, I share your enthusiasm tonight. I remember so well the pride of this moment in this very same facility, in those same blue gowns, and the anticipation of the next years ahead. You are tomorrow's leaders, and as you embark on the next stage of your journey, know that you are fully equipped to discover where passion and profession intersect and where fulfillment can be found in life's work. May the road ahead find you prosperous and joyful. Board President Laverty, members of the board, ladies and gentlemen, these members of the Jefferson High School class of 2018 have met the requirements set forth in district policy and state law. Therefore, we are, at this time, prepared to present to them their diplomas. Congratulations to our graduates.
Kareem Abumizer. Alyssa Agricola. Braden Allendorf. Zahara Al-Safi. Catherine Amuda. Paige Archer. Julia Ball. Logan Ball. Frederick Banker. Antoine Barksdale Curd. Sydney Barlow. Hannah Barmore. Dylan Barnard. Sydney Barnhart. Jovanti Bartles. James Baugh. Adam Bear. Kyler Bell. Jacelyn Ben-Dixon. Garrett Bennick. Myasia Bergman. Carrie Baris. Macy Bertram. Keegan Bielfeld. Caitlin Billsland. Anna Blauer. Ryan Bloom. Josue Bakoyo. Braxton Bolden. Haley Bornstein. Avery Boyles. Natasha Brisbine. Lucas Brown. Maria Bruner. Hannah Burgess. Gabrielle Burkett. Sindel Burns. Joseph Walya. Christine Buonacuri. Felicia Kane. Christian Calderon. Darian Cambridge. Paula Carlson. Magic Carlton. Matthew Carr. Broderick Karstens. Fernando Castillo Jr. Chloe Cartier. Sheila Cherry. Cody Christofferson. Cody Clendenin. Zachary Klein. Dylan Connor. Ben Cook. Breck Coulter. Caleb Cox. Hannah Coyle. Catherine Cummings. Allison Dolanzek. Brennan Dake. Joel Darrow. Diamond Davies. Casey Davis. Peyton Davison. Cassandra Day. Marie Grace Deli. Tarek Danbesti. Cameron Dietrich. Olivia Dixon. Bryce Donner. Michael Dorenkamp. Carolyn Driscoll. Ella Early. Anike Elias. Biamungu Elofi. Kyle Ennis. Olivia Erickson. Robert Ferrier. Kara Phillip. Lucio Flores. Jacqueline Forst. Nicholas Ford. Thomas Fox. Braden Frazier. Joshua Furrow. Haley Ganfield. Javis Garnett. Malik Gatewood. Ombini Gideoni. Kayla Glassberg. Michaela Glupka. Karina Gonzalez Pena. Haley Grafton. Zachary Grant. Jacob Haddish. Mitchell Hall. Alexis Hallman. Zachary Halstead. Kira Hammonds. Jordan Hanna. Nicholas Hansen. Chloe Harden. Grace Harms. Caden Hawkins. William Hout. Brooklyn Hawkins. Kelsey Hawkins. Janaea Hayes. Clara Heathman. Ethan Himes. Heller Hellenberger Jr. Cole Hemphill. Nadanja Herman. Rachel Herrick. Tyler Hewitt. Christopher Hill. Megan Hill. Ezekiel Hillius. Jared Halas. Sierra Hager. Madison Hogue. Abigail Holcomb. Kylie Holmes. Samantha Hoskins. Dylan Howard. Tyler Hughes. Tyler Hurt. Josianne Ishimwe. Jonte Jackson. Kiara Jamal. Carter Duran. Brandon Johnson. Demetrius Johnson Jr. Christina Jones. Jaden Joslin. Gleddy Kabula. Kyle Cuzimore. Logan Kia. Brianna Kenny. Connor Kenny. Miles Kenny. Bryce Kiernan. Logan Klein. Noel Cook. Logan Cruzy. Christopher Kruger. Trenton Kennan. Robert Larson. Joshua Ledesma. Micaiah Leggins. Sincere Lemon. Colton Lindsay. Andrew Livingston. Cottrell Lockhart. Diana Lana Garcia. Anthony Lorimer. Sean Losey. Ford Loskill. Caitlin Lutch. Leslie Maldonado. Benjamin Modernock. Emoni Martin. Noella Mbata. Savannah McAtee. Micah McChesney. Mary McCoy. Stephanie McDonald. Calais McGuire. Kara McGuire. Junior McMurrin. Dylan McNabb. Nicholas Messier. Andrew Myers. Haley Michael. Sydney Miller. Juditha Minani. Vaughn Miranda. Elizabeth Moon. Michelle Moon. Matthew Moore. Pinky Moore. Ira Moretz Egan. Callista Morgan. Lauren Moritz. Tajma Morse. Quinton Murray. Jade Namus. Cecilia Dababari. Ruhira di Kumuzika Ziza. Alexander Nelson. Parker Nazirka. Esther Najima. Seth Nielsen. Angelique Njimbery. Claudine Niogushima. Samuele Niomutabazi. Tendris Kambe. Liddell Nunez Guadalupe. Amy Naibarula. Stephanie O'Connor. Erica Oler. Claudia Olmos. Alex Olson. Lelena Olson. Coy Ortega. Caden Osmankeech. Zachary Osmankeech. Grace Ovenshire. Laura Ovenshire. Hallie Osborne. Nilce Pacquiao Santiago. Logan Patey. Daniel Peeler. Amber Pearson. Bailey Pacoda. Rubelsi Perez Lopez. Brandon Perez Rubio. Samantha Peterson. Dylan Pfeiffer. Adrienne Picard. Justice Pickup. Sophia Pionic. Jazia Probst. Nadine Kadora. Shahid Kadora. Yana Quint. Taylor Ratora. Bradley Rasmussen. Timothy Ratchford. Camille Ray. Caitlin Reed. Jacob Reiling. Jonathan Reinert. Jared Reynolds. Emily Rezak. Canola Richardson. Cole Rinderneck. Sarah Robertson. Ashley Robinson. Miles Robinson. Hunter Roth. Ricardo Rojas Aguilar. Bridget Ruka Kiza. Kayla Rutherford. Brittany Ryan. Dusty Sales. Tierra Salyers. Rodrigo Sanchez Alavez. Sable Sanders. Holly Sark. Jonathan Slofelt. Laura Schmidt. Carson Schmidt. Austin Schmitz. Kyla Schooley. Emily Schroeder. Riley Seaman. Morgan Sutledge. Enoch Sandaqua. Cassandra Shelley. Alexis Shepard. Cameron Sheritz. Jacob Scherzer. Sricharan Sheshashai. Evie Seams. Amanda Sir. Sherry Sir. Madison Slagle. Hannah Smith. Jared Smith. Tyrese Smith. Nathan Soper. Nicholas Standifer. Angel Starks. Keenan Stewart. Cameron Stokes. Matthew Storm. Ashlyn Stout. Lauren Stroshine. Eric Sullivan. Dalton Tatro. Jacob Taylor. Clarice Cheesygay. Daryl Thomas. Josie Thompson. Giles Teepin. Paige Toomer. Selma Tommerberg. Simone Townsend. Hugh Trin. Tao Trin. Dallas Troop. David True. Dominic Tusing. David Tishime. Beltra Uriho. Connor Van Scoy. Haley Varro. Noah Vaughter. Taylor Victoria. Natalie Voss. Mallory Walker. Jarquise Wallace. Selena Watkins. Shapriya Weber. Sarah Weiland. Michael Welbus. James Wheeler. Isaac Wiedemann. Maxwell Wiedemann. Zachary Williams. Hollis Wilson. Kendra Wertner. Brianna Wolfs. Caitlin Wolfs. You're up, Dejan. Dejan Worley. Trenton Yancey. Titan Zarodnik. Esma Zanelli. Jetmir Zanelli. Megan Zurcher.
Live and Local is proudly sponsored by Dr. Fitzgerald and Associates. Protect your precious peepers. Community First Credit Union. Eels and Tronvold Law Offices. Worth It by UFG Insurance. And Walton Collision Center in Fairfax.